as the sun peeks through the haze, and birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. The front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore, morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore, morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Good morning, good morning. I'm sorry if that the opening intro, if I cut it off for you. On my end, it was freezing up, so I wasn't sure if it was actually playing or not. But if it did freeze, I apologize. Um, let's see who we have. We got Lori Ann, we got Lil Lou, uh, we got Gary in here this morning. Good morning, Laura Collins. Good morning. Yeah, it's going. I gotta share my Twitter link. I always share when the song's playing. I'm always sharing things up, but today, for me, it looked like the song was messing up. So you gotta when you do this, you gotta share out your links. I hate social media, but because of the show, I've got to have a lot of social media. So, how are you all doing this morning? It I so I do want to give a shout out. I was watching Rosalind Duke yesterday, and I really do love her show. She does it during the day, so if I'm not watching anyone else, I'll go watch her. And her and the expert were talking about the uh, JFK assassination. So I was listening to that. I was driving yesterday, and I was listening to it, and I want to get back into watching it because it was a really interesting discussion. So, oh, Flying Auditor's in here. Where's he at? I didn't see him. Oh yeah, he is. Welcome, welcome. I got to get his thing in the mail. He's an Air Force veteran. I'm wearing my Battle Buddies shirt this morning. Battle Buddies is it's an app for veterans who are in crisis. So if you know of any veterans who are struggling, send them to the Battle Buddies app. And when they reach out on that, they'll talk to another veteran just like myself. 8 minutes before the market opens. Ooh, we yeah, you gotta keep an eye on those markets. I do. I I've been investing. Hold on, I want to get the name of the company right. They do. There's a lot of semiconductors out there which are feeding these AI chips. So Van Eck Semiconductors, that's the one I've been investing in. That and MicroStrategy. You're tearing apart my bed, dog. She has she has her sweater on this morning. Uh, I put her sweater on her because it got chilly here last night. It's in the 40s this morning, or low 40s. All right, we got someone watching on Facebook. Good, good. Welcome, welcome. I just made I made that bed this morning, and now you're gonna tear it all up, just so she can have somewhere comfy for her to lay down. Hey, stop tearing apart my bed. Yard sales. I go to a lot of yard sales. I enjoy them. I don't always buy something, but you always can see some cool stuff. Bad stream. We need more Latinas. Good old slug. While the Super Bowl was uh, was pretty much a snoozer. The Chiefs, they were not ready. I was wrong on my prediction, and I was getting called out by Cass last night. Because if you recall, I said that the Chiefs would win 38-35. But Cass, yeah, she was calling me out last night. I'm like, hey, I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But that is what, if you searched who won the Super Bowl before yesterday, that was the result it was giving. Options trades. Yeah, options trades are, ooh, like, you better be sure about those options. Better be sure about them. Yeah, people were talking, like, I had no problem with for the first time in a while, I had no problem with the halftime show. I really enjoyed it, actually. I loved that they were pulling in the American flag, and it wasn't, trying to use the flag to racially divide us. So I really, really enjoyed that part of it. The song was okay. I'm not a big Kendrick Lamar fan, but I enjoyed the production of it. Um, so yeah, it wasn't trying to be something like edgy, and I'm immediately thinking of the Olympics opening ceremony in France, where it was trying to do all these edgy things. Like, it wasn't trying to be that. So I really enjoyed it. Oh, that's very nice, Carol. Well, welcome. Uh, let them know. I'm always, when people tell me about, their family members when they watch the show, I always say, well, encourage them to check us out. Well, no, there was no way the Chiefs were going to win on their own, but they needed help to beat Buffalo. Oh, that's so sad. My friend, her dog must have passed. Uh, yeah, I really had zero interest, but I did watch some of the Super Bowl, but I wasn't like super into it. I was having a very nice conversation. Good morning, Patty. Yeah, I thought I really liked the halftime show. And traditionally, it's me and my brother making fun of the halftime show. because they always do stuff that it's like, why? Why are you doing this? Mm. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate that. Um, yes, she did. Did Tay Tay get booed? Yes, she did. She got booed. The Philly fans, like the Philly fans, yeah, of course they're not gonna like her. Like, really? I'm trying to pull up. I'm gonna see what's in the news. I was watching the news earlier, but then I was talking to mom. A couple things here I'm already seeing that I want to talk about. Passenger insists first class traveler take money for giving up aisle seat. Weird experience. New Jersey driver awarded nearly 13 million after troopers mistook her stroke for intoxication. Well, yeah, like, but that's where I always say, if you're a hammer, everything you see is a nail. So a lot of these cops, they're only trained to look for intoxication. So when someone's slurring their speech or something, that's immediately what they're going to think. The Boston Globe. Wow, they really don't know how to use Twitter. They really like they have all their stories listed and then a link. No, that's not how you use Twitter. They need someone to come in, revamp their social media policy. The negatives of Trump's state funding freeze. There's gonna be there's gonna be some growing pains with it. Even Trump will acknowledge that. See, we got 50 people in here. Everybody, please like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and leave me a comment wherever you are. I do appreciate it. um, yes, this is okay. This one here, I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share my screen. No, I don't want the audio and that. So Medicare's price controls mean higher healthcare spending. Absolutely, it does. What happens is the government says we will pay this, okay, and sometimes they that drug or whatever can be paid lower. Well, what that does, that establishes a new minimum. So now all these healthcare companies, for the rest of us who aren't on Medicare, we now pay this because we're going to bump it up X percent above Medicare. That is what price controls do, and it's been shown time and time again. The look on Taylor's face. Yeah, that was funny. The primary contractor for Space Launch System rocket, Boeing, is preparing for the possibility that NASA cancels the long running program. Well, yeah, but now you have private companies doing it. So you can work with them. Tulips. To stop anti Semitism, find the source. Okay. There is anti-Semitism out there. It's not like rarely does it go to like physical stuff. In fact, a lot of the anti-Semitism out there is just it's just a bunch of edgelords. Mhm. Did you guys see this about Kanye, where he was posting literal porn onto X over the last 2 days? He was literally posting porn. It was really messed up. Trump wants to end the production of pennies, calling them wasteful. Each coin costs 3.7 cents to produce. Yeah. 300% markup. Yeah. And here's the thing, do we really need to there's so many pennies out there in the world. Do we really need to keep creating them? Like we should limit the stock and say, okay, this year we're only going to print X amount of pennies, and then next year X amount. You know, you track how many pennies are out there. So yeah, we really don't need to be printing them. I think at the rate that we are. Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right, Carol. It'll take more than 4 years, but it'll be. This is a much needed thing on the chopping block. And you know, I deal a lot with people on the base, and they are freaking out. Like some of these people are freaking out. And the ones freaking out the most are the ones who've been there for so long, who have no plan to leave, no plan at all. A very good friend of mine, he's very well known in the Marine Corps. He's like very well respected because he's very knowledgeable. He's at one of the major schools. He's been there for forever. And we were talking and he was like, "Mike, I've been in the Marine Corps in some fashion since 1980." And he goes, "I'm still sticking around because they want me." He goes, "I would have retired long ago." Re- You know, because he retired as a Marine, then he's been working as an expert for the government um, ever since, and he's very well paid. And they send him all over to all over the world to be an expert and to help align some of the plans and stuff that the Marine Corps has going. And he's like, "Look, I'm ready to retire. I will not lie." He goes, "They are just," he goes, "They want me around, so they are keeping it worth my while." He goes, "But with this stuff," he goes, "I have zero doubts that," he goes, "I don't think my job is going to be on the chopping block, but me and my job is going to be on the chopping block." And he's like, "I'm perfectly okay with that." He goes, "I've done well for myself. I know what I want to do when I'm retired." He goes, "But some of these other people, they don't have that. They haven't been looking forward to their retirement." He's like, and which is true. Him and his wife have been traveling all over. They're about to take another big trip. They're going to be going overseas again, and they're quite happy. But yeah, there's a lot of people who they're not planning for that. And it's like, yeah, yeah. And these are the people who'll talk about their expertise, and it's like, I get, okay, you're an expert and you've been around a while, but you've screwed things up. Things in the DoD are screwed up. And we are now at a tipping point where, thank you for everything you've done. You now have to move along because we do need new ideas. There's now, like, we have new ways of warfare that have come up in the last 2 years. Drone warfare is a big thing. That's going to be a part of the future, and we are now seeing eyewitness. If you watch the Ukraine war, we're seeing drone warfare act out in real time, and us as Americans, as American warfighters, we have to be studying that and paying attention because one day it'll come to our doorstep. And if we're not ready and we're not trained for that, that'll be a huge mistake. We've been the ones we've been using the drone warfare in the past. Now it will come back on us now. Um, I really hope so. Doug Collins is who he chose to run the VA. I really hope they dismantle the VA and rebuild it anew. All these VA hospitals, give them to Health and Human Services. The VA needs to get out of the healthcare game. They really do. They do a poor job of it. It is the biggest insurer in the United States, and it's also one of the lowest rated. They do not do a good job with it. Turn all those hospitals, say, "Hey, all of you people, if you're a doctor, if you're a nurse, and you're working for the VA, next week you're going to work for Health and Human Services." And the VA should instead be the conduit. They should still have an office at that hospital that when the veterans come there for care, they're the ones now being the advocate for these two these this dog and this cat. They are just running around here being crazy, but they would now be the advocate for the veteran. And think about the good that the VA would do then. And that's what I hope happens. Give me one quick second. I am going to get some more coffee. Okay, we're back. I've got the whole house for these animals to play in, but they have to play in the room where I am. And if I were to close the door on them, they'll stop playing and paw at the door. Oh, here's one thing I want to talk about. Disney theme parks addicted to price hikes as visits become unaffordable for middle class. Yes, this is absolutely happening. And we went to Disney a couple years ago. COVID was still happening, but it was starting to ease up. But Disney was very, very hard on the restrictions. And the problem with Disney is they're they're chasing the money, okay, and they're losing their core audience. Their core audience has always been families, but who are they? Every new attraction that they create, they're focusing towards Disney adults, and a lot of these people are emotionally stunted, uh, you know, people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s who do not have kids. And yeah, they've got money that they can expend. They've got disposable income, but they're, you know, they are using all of their income for these different Disney things, and um, I'm trying to think like souvenirs and stuff like that. And there's a whole like cult like culture, especially on YouTube, especially on YouTube. And the problem is, like, when I went, I took my son, my brother brought my nieces and nephews, and my nephew was literally going up to Chewbacca, and this 20-year-old woman like shoved her way in between my nephew and Chewbacca. Like, I love Disney. I've always loved going to Disney, but for me, the experience is always about the kids. Like, that is always been my focus. And while I enjoy going, and I enjoy that there's some adult things there, I recognize that everything is about the kids. For instance, when we went, I'd go to the dollar store beforehand and get some of the like glow sticks and light up stuff. Because then when the parades come on at night, that's where they bring out all the light up stuff. All the kids want the light up stuff. So I would just reach in my bag and be like, "Oh, hey, I got these for you." The kids didn't know. And I remember the one time there was a couple right next to us, and they were like, "Oh, that was so smart." And I was like, I pulled out a couple more. I'm like, "I got them from the dollar store. Here, take it." And they were able to give their kids glow sticks and stuff, and the kids were happy. That's what I'm all about. The kids having an amazing experience. I am not about an adult having a magical experience. Like, if that's what you're trying to do as an adult, you need therapy. Good morning, Coop. I will be watching Coop and Georgie later on today. I don't know how my day is going to be, if I'm going to be busy, if I can jump into their stream, but make sure you guys are. And we have Georgie so close to um, being monetized. I'll pull up her thing here. Uh, YouTube search features are so weird. I have to search for channel. I've got to search for channel to be able. Here we go. So this is how close Georgie is to being monetized. She's at 981. She only has to get to 1,000, and she is planning a 1,000 subscriber spectacular. I don't know where she is with it. I gave her some ideas that I don't think I know she laughed at me. But share out Georgie's channel. Let's get her monetized. Um, she's worked really hard. She's doing some really great stuff for people. So yeah, I would really love to see her monetized. And she's an incredibly smart person. That's There are things that I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. She's like, oh yeah, I'm already doing that. And I'm like, what? And then I can pick her brain. So she's very smart. Uh, we do have one guy watching, Tim Walters. He's battling cancer. He's a veteran. Everyone, please pray for Tim. In fact, if you could, please put hashtag prayers for Tim. Um, he Hopefully, maybe today, me and Tim can do a phone call. He's a veteran he's tried to be. Jesus, these animals. He's tried to be very active in the veteran community. His health is just keeping him from it. So, very great guy. So yeah, these Disney adults, they've really made going to Disney less fun. And because they're spending so much money, Disney's just raising the prices. Well, the problem is Disney's going to eventually outprice its core consumer. And then when you lose your base of customers, and you're seeing it in other places. Here's an example: McDonald's. McDonald's, for the first time ever, is uh, like having to close up McDonald's, like real close them up. McDonald's used to be all about marketing to kids. You don't see that anymore. You don't see that anymore. There's no more play places. So they've lost their core base. They're now trying to they were trying to be trendy with their McDonald's coffee shops and stuff. And I was like, dude, you're McDonald's. Stop it. And they still haven't learned the lesson. And, I would never invest in them today. Not the way you would in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Pizza Hut. They just closed one of my local Pizza Huts. Pizza Hut used to be a staple. It used to be a staple where everyone would go. And yep, they they were they too were very focused on families and a family atmosphere. And they got away from it. And you're seeing it close up. Just because Applebee's and Bennigan's are being successful doing something doesn't mean you have to copy them. That's why Facebook is dying. Facebook it tries to be what every other social media platform is. And you can't do that. You can you have a niche, you stick with your niche, maybe you add some things to make the experience better, but then when you go too far away from your base, you know, you, then that's where you oh, what do you call it? I want to say entropy, but where your muscles waste away. There's a term. I'm drawing a blank on it. Uh, Dave Portnoy. He's a funny guy. Barstool Sports is actually really like he was smart for making Barstool Sports. Again, ESPN, Sports Illustrated used to be guy centric media, right? Sports guys, they owned the 18 to 45-year-old male demographic. Then they wanted to be more diverse and they wanted to be more accepting. So then they started expanding out. They started hiring more females, and ESPN especially is an absolute just shit show. Like, it is a joke. I find ESPN today unwatchable. But Barstool Sports, I love Barstool. Barstool has great um great entertainment, which is directed towards men. And I used to write for a sports magazine. And I told them back then, I was like, look, Barstool's coming up. You should do what they're doing. Be the Maxim magazine for sports. And they didn't. And they're still doing their thing, but the amount of success they thought they were going to do, they don't have. But Barstool is doing well. And feminists hate Barstool Sports. Hate. Like, cannot stand it. And it's continually growing. And it's like, they know their base and they're sticking to their base. They, you know, their base used to go to other things. And when those other media outlets moved away, atrophy. Thank you, Jessica. Yeah, when they moved away, they began to atrophy. Barstool moved in and phew, just got all the fans because there was nowhere else to go. It's like Time Magazine and some of these other magazines out there, like Time and People. They used to, when we didn't have as much media and the internet wasn't big, that was where you went, and they tried to reach out to everybody. But then when we had more choices, people were like, I don't want to see that. I want to see this. And they moved away. So now if you're trying to broadcast to this generic audience, it'll never happen. Like, you'll never be successful. That's here on YouTube. First thing they do is tell you to find a niche. Find a niche, do content for that. I started with veteran content, you know, but I also said my mission here is to help and entertain veterans, military, and their families. And that will always be my mission. It reminds me to come back to my core audience, even though my audience has absolutely changed, especially over the last year and a half. Yeah, this used to be a show with more men watching. Now I have more women watching, and nothing more than just like a couple things of the content. Me doing these coffees, I wasn't doing these a year and a half ago. But me doing it has changed the demographic. But I still stick to my mission. I absolutely stick to my mission because I'm not going to forget that that is my core base. I'll do other stuff, but at the heart of this is, uh, veteran centric stuff. But it's to entertain veterans and military and their families. So that does give me a wide enough breadth that if I move off and do something, yeah, do I get criticism from veterans? Yeah. But if you want a vet bro show, go watch a vet bro show. There's plenty of veteran shows out there. Some of them are really good. Some of them I've helped, but they're going to surpass this channel. I know it, and that's okay. I a lot of what I do is things that I find entertaining, and if I do, I know veterans will find it entertaining. I know the military absolutely will. You know, I'm on base almost every day, so as I talk to the Marines and sailors, I get the feedback from them on the type of stuff they want to see. Huh. Uh, Trump mocks HuffPost reporter in exchange over JD Vance's comments on court ruling. Suggests the outlet died. Yeah. How about Politico? They were getting Politico, New York Times, and BBC were all getting USAID money. Jesus. That was that like talk about a plan to fail. That's the thing. Like some of these companies, like it's like you're not designed. Your business not model is not designed to rely on government money. If you get it, that's great. You know, if you get a program where you can get government money, that's fine, but you're not designed to rely on it. And you started relying on it, and when it went away, like Politico could not pay their people. They could not pay their people. That means you Dave Ramsey, I used to listen to him a lot. I don't listen to him as much anymore, but I do enjoy some of his ideas about things. But one thing that he says is, when the tide goes out, you find out who's skinny dipping, and that's the truth. And that's what happened to Politico. They clearly were not being managed financially in a good, like, well, because as soon as U.S. aid money got cut off, they couldn't pay their people. So yep, a lot of these left wing outlets we're going to find. Well, we've already found are being propped up. Like it was all fake. Like all their that they had all this pull and all of this influence. It was all fake. In 1993, Michael Jackson created the Super Bowl halftime show as we know it. I don't think that was actually a good thing. Like I don't think it was really that good. I would much rather it much like yesterday's. I would much rather just see a band up there performing. What do you want, pretty girl? Here, you want to come up here? You want to show everyone that you got your sweater on? It's not really a sweater. It's more just you got a t-shirt on. But it got a little bit colder and you got groomed. So, and how it says the boss on it. Yeah, because you're the boss, right? She's cold. That's why I threw it on her. I got her groomed because it was getting warmer, and then yeah, we had a cold front come through. So, yep, we'll wear the sweaters this week till it warms up again. Uh, is it really that interesting? She's sniffing all this. Oh, is it the Harley Grace teddy? Yeah, she thinks that's a toy for her. Nope, not your toy. Yeah, another story about the pennies. Yeah, they should slow down the printing of the pennies. And I think we should change the composition. Like a 3 point, like a 1 cent penny being costing 3.7 cents to make. Okay, can you get down? You get down. You're not resting. So yeah, 3.7 cents to make a penny is crazy. I guarantee you we can drive that down. If we have to change the makeup of the penny, let's do it. We've done it in the past. And think about, all every time we change the way a penny is made, it does become a collector's item. So, I've got no problem with that. Is that okay? Indianapolis, David Letterman. Mr. Coop does have a lot of fun over at Rumble, but we're trying to build up over at Rumble. Let's take a look. I have 7 people watching at Rumble. Thank you. Please give it a like. Please give it a like. I do appreciate it. over there. We've got Blues Rough Rider. We got Coop. Awesome. Thank you so much. Page after page is disappearing from government and military websites. Here, let me teach you something about the government. The government loves websites. Loves websites. What's the problem with a website? So, yeah, everyone has websites, but let's face it, websites are 20 years ago. Everyone is now using apps, but the government is not. They set up a website for everything. Websites get attacked, websites are vulnerable, websites go down. Apps, not so much. Apps are easier to maintain. Um, they're most of the times it's just a container and you fill out forms and stuff, and then when you click submit, that's where it sends it to a website that then compiles everything. And the government is so slow, they do not want to do apps. And a big one was the fitness reports. For me to go on and do a Marine Corps fitness report, I had to go onto a website. I had to log in. It took forever. Now, okay, in the whole Marine Corps, every officer that was writing a fitness report, it has to have an account. It has to be in there. So now I'm in there, and let's say I got to do 10 fitness reports. I'm going in there, I'm filling them out, putting everything in there, and I go to submit, and oh, now you're timed out. Because, excuse me, hey, Lori, no, thank you. No, no barking. No. I know what you want. No. Um, but yeah, the websites, like you'll get timed out and you've been in there working, but it didn't read you working. And I was like, look, why do I have to do this? Essentially, a fitness report is a form. It's a standardized form. Why can't I just fill out the form on an app, click submit, and when I click submit, all that data is transferred one time? And that way, when everybody's doing fit reps during fit rep season, because that's the other thing, oh no, it has to be done on these days. So there are spikes, and everybody will be doing their fit reps at the last minute. And sometimes it's because you've done them earlier, but now there's corrections that need to be made, and you're rushing to get it done. So it's all designed to fail. And this is the problem of your government. They put these processes in that are complete failure. And every time you bring up that this is a failure, their solution is more red tape. Bureaucracy solves bureaucracy with bureaucracy. That's what's happening. And that's how this all became wasteful. So imagine if we could start taking a lot of these websites, which I can tell you right now, I, I would say 85% of the government's websites could be completely replaced with apps. That would make it much more efficient. But yet, every time oh yeah, let's look into this. Who's the people looking into this? Well, it's a 50-year-old general who's been doing things the same way over and over. Um, the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps switched to um, Ground Service Support Marine Corps, GCSS Marine Corps. Was this big, huge initiative. We're going to do all this stuff. What it was Oracle. They brought in Oracle. And Oracle works at so many different places. Like so many like Fortune 500 companies use Oracle. So the Marine Corps is like, okay, yeah, we're gonna bring in Oracle, and they're gonna implement their system for the Marine Corps. And then here's what the Marine Corps did. Oh, you call that a hey, stop tearing up the bed. These two. Look, they tore up my bed. I made that this morning. And they're just gonna run around and act like idiots. Look. Yeah, now you're gonna chase around the cat. You're like children. In dog years, you're supposed to be approaching middle age, Glory. But yeah, they brought in Oracle, and then they had Oracle change the name of everything. Like they were like, well, these are Marine Corps terms. And it's like, you don't want to adapt to this new system. And so Oracle had to do all this work reinventing the wheel rather just to say, you know what, this is the new way we're going to do business. We'll have to write new SOPs, and that's fine. But we know the system works and we're going to stick with it. No, we have to change the system to conform to our SOPs. Like, you don't want to change the way you're doing business of something that is proven to work with with companies that are trying to make profit. And that is why this needs to happen within our government. 100%. Someone clip that and send it to Pete Hegseth. The Super Bowl commercials. The Super Bowl commercials have gotten worse every year. Ed Sheeran on the streets in India. That's cool. Who cares about Travis Kelce? The only reason they care about Travis Kelce is because it's Taylor Swift. Only reason. He's now like in retirement age for the NFL. Do you know the average lifespan of a running back in the NFL is about 3.5 years? Now he's a wide receiver. They have a little bit longer, but he's now retirement age. All right. So I think that's all the big news stories I want to go through this morning. Um, I do want to plug the Uncle Frank fundraiser. Uncle Frank was a veteran. He was a fan of this show, and he passed away in January. So actually, a month and a day ago, he passed away. And we've been doing this fundraiser. We got up to 515. I've plugged it, but I haven't been plugging it again. What Yoda and Miss Yoda, Uncle Frank's nephew, what they're doing is going to be really cool. They have a plan in place. Things are happening with it. But if you have a couple dollars, please give it to this. We want to support Yoda. And then I want to pull up Tim. Because remember I told you, hashtag prayers for Tim. Tim has a GoFundMe. And I will put that up. So Tim is a veteran. Stage 3 colon cancer. I have a surgery. They have taken half my colon. My doctor has ordered a mobility wheelchair for another problem. I can hardly walk due to back and leg issues. My insurance will not pay for it, so I'm looking for the help of a chair or mobility scooter. So if you're so inclined, um, give to Tim here. I'll put the link right here. Please help Tim if you can. Share this, or send prayers, all that good stuff if you can. He does watch the show. I think he's watching on Facebook because he sent me a couple messages while I was on the show here. But I told him, he asked me if I would push it out. I said, yeah, absolutely, I will. In fact, I'm going to put it out on X, where I know the people who follow me on X are very pro-veteran. Oh, wait. And I know with looking for a mobility scooter, I know that in the past, I've helped Eric, and some of you guys had mobility scooters that you were. I just tweeted out. That I just realized I still have his Gibson or his GoFundMe up. I just tweeted it out. But if you can uh, help Tim, and if you have a mobility scooter, we can talk with Tim about getting it at a discounted cost if you have a used one. Uh, he obviously can't. He's had mobility issues, but he's been very involved. Him and I, we were talking. He used to be part of Rolling Thunder, planning of that, but obviously his health issues have taken him out of that. I really would like to get to Rolling Thunder. I don't know if I can this year. It's on my to-do list. Rolling Thunder is where all the motorcycles go to DC on Memorial Day weekend. So if I can get there this year, I will. I also want to go to um, Sturgis at some point if I can. So, but yeah, give to Tim if you can. Uh, Again, I'll put that in the yeah Orphan Kitties Rescue page. Yeah, if someone can put hers in there as well. Orphan is a fan of the show. Again, you guys have stuff going on. I'm going to support you as best I can. Uh, in fact, I am going to donate to Tim's Gifts and Go right now. I'm going to donate personally. I'm just texting him right now. So I'm going to donate personally to Tim right now. Of course, YouTube is a little bit, or I'm sorry, Facebook is a little bit weird with the way some of this stuff works. So I'm going to donate $50 right now. I'm gonna challenge all you guys to try to match me. If you can't match with $50, let's see if collectively if the audience can match my $50 to 10. So there we go. So there we go. Here we go. I'll put this up. There. So you guys can see I donated $50. I will donate some money from Veteran Nation to Tim. So if you guys can match collectively, collectively match my $50 donation, please do. Let's try to help Tim out. But if you have a mobility scooter, and yep, thank you, Coop. So yeah, if you guys have a mobility scooter that he can get a little bit cheaper, maybe we can get it to him a little bit faster and not have to raise as much money. So, oh, and here's the Facebook page for Orphan Kitty Rescue. Um, is it Oklahoma Rescue? Oh no, here we go. I got it. So this takes you to the link that was posted right here. So if you can, please go over there, share this. Here, I'll subscribe right now. I wasn't subscribed on this account, but okay. I gotta put my card in. Okay. I'll give her a like right now. So yeah, all about helping, you know, all about helping people. People support this show by watching. I want to support you guys. So there we have it. I got to get going though. I've got a busy day today. So thank you guys all for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe this, share it out. Please help with some of these fundraisers. We're trying to help people, and it's a good positive thing. You don't have to, if you can't give, that's fine. Send prayers, share it out, because if we share it out a lot, then we're getting it out in front of more people. And if you can't give $5, but you share it out and 3 people that see it give $5, it's like you having been given 15. So that's even better. So share this stuff far and wide. Um, uh, I did see a thing where there was a place that was taking in stray cats, and they were saying, if for a $15 donation, we will name a stray cat after you. We will have it spayed and neutered and then release it back where it was found. And I jokingly said, do you think people will believe that my ex will name it after your ex? And I said, do you think they'll believe my ex's name was the Prophet Muhammad? Because I'm a straight shit stirrer. I'm a troll and a shit stirrer. But I'm going to get going. Thank you folks so much. And as always, thank you for, check out Georgie and Coop later on today. We're trying to get Georgie at 1,000. But as always, thank you for being worth serving.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awaking to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Loose print smudges on fingers of grace. America's awaking at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awaking at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awaking with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awaking to lighten her load. America's awaking